Hey, how are we all doing? I hope everyone's having an amazing day and welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today we're doing a speed build of a pink castle. I've done it on Cordelia's secret lot in Hinford on Bagley. It's quite a small castle, it's only going to be one bed and one bath, but for this build I was feeling like it would be quite a private single person living here, very in touch with the land, really into gardening and painting pictures of the landscape and the animals around the house. So that's why I felt it would fit best in Hinford on Bagley in this lot with all the trees and away from other houses and the town. I started this build with raising the middle up with tree and tools and added a pond the whole way around the house. I spent over an hour landscaping this pond, so I had to skip it in the video, but if you are interested in how I landscape ponds like this, let me know and I'll definitely do it in another video dedicated to landscaping. This build has no CC and it is available to download on my gallery, which I will link down below so you can check out this build and my other builds as well. I started this build with adding octagon rooms and build them up as towers. I do 4 towers in total with different heights and join them in the middle with a few box rooms. I used this pink roof tile and I actually used a post that came with cottage living that I found in sculptures and added to the point of the roofs on the towers to mimic the metal points on towers you usually see in castles. I did a very basic roofing style on this build and I actually changed the entrance room a bit to change it into a balcony, but I do put a roof on it to begin with. For the rest of the roofing I used these half hip roof pieces on both sides of the rooms and rounded them out, and then used a hip roof piece on the middle room and round it out as well. I tried to keep this build looking very old styled castle. I didn't want to modernise it too much and wanted to keep it very old English village style. So I do use a lot of cottage living in this build because it fit it into the world I chose best, but also fit it into the old English styled castle. This is where I'm trying to roof this front entranceway, but it wasn't really working. I couldn't get it to look great, so I thought a balcony would fit in best here. I used this iron fence from base game in this golden colour to outline the balcony. For the landscaping of this build, I used a lot of greenery and rocks to hide the outline of the pond and found this old whale mill in debug and used it to look like a bridge and used posts from debug and raised them up either side. What I didn't notice is this wheel actually moves, so when I go into live mode at the end of the build, I notice that the wheel moves, so it really doesn't work well as a bridge. But I left it in anyway because I think it looks good on the build, and if you do download this lot, you can either remove the wheel and fill in the rest around the pond with bushes and stones, or leave it in, but just let you know it does spin. For the side towers, I was feeling the stone wall and I was playing around with different style of stone and brick, but I ended up using this cobbled wall from Cottage Living on all the towers and just a plain pink paint on the rest of the walls. When building this castle, I was actually thinking this would be a nice finish house for the Rags to Riches challenge, where your sim can settle down and relax after living off the land and can use their skills in gardening and painting that you usually gain in this challenge. This could be a place where they can relax when they're old, away from other sims and busy towns. Let me actually check how much this lot is worth to see if it could be used in the Rags to Riches challenge, because there is a lot going on the outside of this build with landscaping, but I kept the inside more tame because I wanted to make sure this build was easy to download and run, and also so that if you did download it, there's space to personalize it to your own sims. Okay, so this lot is worth 71,000, so it's a bit more on the cheap side for that challenge, but I feel once you add all your Sims things into the house and personalise it a bit more, it could work for the Rags to Riches challenge, and you could build onto it but make it a bit more expensive. I used cottage living windows on this build. I used the smaller ones on the towers, I added them onto every other wall, and used the bigger ones around the rest of the build. But I've also used cottage living doors for both front and balcony door here, but I do end up changing the lower level to a taller wall height because I felt this build was missing a big castle door. I ended up using the door on tall wall height from Discovery University. I added more landscaping to this build with these bushes wrapped around the front of the castle, and I actually ended up putting around the back as well. And I used this terrain paint from Cottage Living as a path up to the castle. This is where I've raised up the lower level and changed that door. I just fill in all the missing gaps with the same windows on the towers and add a balcony and flower box and this roof wall sculpture from Cottage Living as a roof for the balcony on both sides of the castle. I actually really like how this build turned out from the front with the stone towers, but changed up a bit with the pink walls and roofs, and I feel like it fits in really well with the lot I've chosen and with Hinford and Bagley. Into the inside now, the floor plan is a bit weird and I wasn't really thinking about it when I was building the outside of the lot. I was just trying to make it look pretty on the outside, but I actually made it work and I don't actually mind how it turned out. I used these arches from base game to open up the rooms a bit so they didn't seem as small, and used one of the towers for the bathroom. Into the first tower I added this old style desk and chair and added a PC, but it wasn't really fitting very well into the room, so I do go and move that into the hallway on the side instead later and change that room into something else. I used wooden floorboards the whole way through this build. I felt like it made more sense to have it the same the whole way through. Onto the living space, I used this old style fancy couch and chair in pink, and I do play around quite a bit with the layout of this living space because I was trying to figure out what looked and worked best with this floor plan. I had a fireplace just in front of the window and raised up a TV to sit on top of it because we know how much Sims love to watch TV. And I just finished the living area with some plants, a coffee table, this candlestick lamp to fit with a theme, and a rug. I was actually quite surprised how well we were able to get everything to fit in because when I seen the floor plan, I didn't think it would actually look quite as good, and I did think it would be more of a nightmare to work with. For the entrance area, I used this coffee table with some decorations on it behind the couch, a pink entrance rug, and plant beside the door. Onto the second tower. I filled this tower with a chess table. I feel like the chess tables are a good thing to have in houses in The Sims to help with Sim skills and their careers, and I did playtest it all as well, so it does all work. So this is where I've changed the first tower into a little room for your Sim to paint. Painting is a great skill for selling paintings and making good money once that skill is up. Bathroom is very simple, nothing special, but it doesn't have a mirror because I think I have a mod installed that makes all my mirrors CC, so you will need to add one in if you download this lot. Onto the kitchen, I use Cottage Living counters, oven and fridge, and I actually use table and chairs from Cottage Living as well. Like I said, a lot of this build is Cottage Living for the cute pastel colours and the Old English style that fits in with the build. I didn't add too much clutter into this build because I like the idea that you can add your own style into the build. I finished this kitchen with a rug from Laundry Day and a plant, and we move on to the upstairs. I couldn't fit stairs into this build. I was hoping to do like wraparound stairs in the towers, but they just don't fit. So I just used a ladder in one of the towers in the hallway. Onto the bedroom, we used the same style as the couch and chair for the bed. Old style dresser and bedside tables, just a few decorations on top of them. The final room is a tower off from the bedroom that I turned into a walk-in closet. I used the wardrobe stuff from Dream Home Decorator, so it is the most modern area of the whole house and doesn't actually fit the theme of the rest of the house, but I felt like it did fit with the room the best. It made most sense to have a walk-in wardrobe off from the bedroom. I was thinking about adding a bathroom, but this build only has one bedroom, so it didn't really make much sense to have two bathrooms and only one bedroom. That's this build pretty much finished. We just have to decorate the balcony next. We decorate that with an old style metal bench and table and add the basics that I always forget in my build, which is the kitchen bin, the outside bin, and a post box. I add a few more bits and pieces to the garden. I added some flower pots to help with that gardening skill, and if you do use this build for rags to riches, it means that the sim already has that skill and bring your flowers with you. I also added this rabbit home from Cottage Living because I felt like the sim living here will make friends with the animals, talk to the animals, and you can also get gifts from them. Well, anyway, that's the video for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Sims 4 content. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see anything next. And like I said, I'll also link my gallery down below. And I do also have a TikTok where I post some clips, so I'll have that in the description as well. See you all later. Bye.